In this episode, we're going to talk about a subject that doesn't get talked about a lot or taught a lot, and that is banking. Okay, now, depending on whether you're a sole trader or a limited company, the way you bank is slightly different. So, if you're a sole trader, you don't necessarily have to have a business bank account, although it is a good idea to have one, mainly because it just keeps your personal finances separate to your business finances. And what I'm going to go into in a little bit in the video, it will make this process a whole lot easier if you have a specific business account set up. If you're a limited company, you have to have a business account. You cannot bank through your personal banking account. So you need to look into getting a business account set up. There's plenty out there. You don't have to pay for them either. So if you're looking at ones where you have to pay a fee, you don't need to do that. It all depends on which one is the right for you and the right bank account for your setup. Once your bank account is set up, then it's about working out your finances, working out your expenses. So you need to know everything that goes out of your business and into your business, but for the banking side of things, definitely it's really good to know your outgoings, because obviously if your outgoings are exceeding your income, then there's going to be a problem. So first of all, you need to be tracking everything. So do you pay wages? If you do, how much? Who gets paid what? Have a list of all your staff that you pay wages to and how much you pay them. Monthly bills, internet, water rates, electric, have it all listed out with how much you pay every month. Now, bearing in mind, utilities will be variable, so your water rates tend to stay roughly the same unless you have up and down periods, but electric and gas will certainly fluctuate depending on what time of year. In the winter, you'll use more electric and gas. In the summer, not so much because of daylight savings and obviously because it's a warmer time of the year. So they will fluctuate month to month, but if you maybe take a year average, that will give you your monthly mean average. So that's a good way to get your monthly statement for your utility bills. Anything else that you goes out of your business, so it could be internet, I've said, any monthly subscriptions you have, so mentorship programs, things like that, anything you pay for, CRM systems, have it all listed down so you know exactly what your monthly costs are. Now, once you've worked this out and you've got your total number of outgoings, now we can start looking at how to bank in a more efficient way, and which will stop, hopefully, since I've been doing it this way, doesn't create any surprises where you get caught out last minute with a bill that you wasn't expecting. This way of banking comes from a great book called Profit First. I will put the link in the description below so you can check this book out, but it's a great book and it is a real good way of explaining how to bank and how to just keep things simple so you have a lot more of an idea of what's going on in your business. Most of us don't necessarily look at your accountant gives you, because they can be a little bit confusing and hard to read, whereas everyone can read their bank statements. Everyone does on a daily basis sometimes. I will certainly log into my bank accounts pretty much every day just to make sure everything's where it should be. There's no funny payments that have gone out, any fraudulent payments, etc. So we all know how to check our bank statement, not so much reading our profit and loss sheets and how to navigate through them. So this really is a simple way of banking and helping you keep on top of your numbers. And like I say, it will lead to less surprises when your tax bills come in and stuff like that. So the way to use this banking system, and like I say, this book, Profit First, it will it goes even more in depth into how you can use this. I use my version and what I've taken from the book, and I bank this way. But you can go even further into it if you want to follow the book step by step. It tells you literally every step of the way how to set up your bank accounts and how to use them. So the way I use them is I've got 4 different bank accounts. Okay, all used for the business. The first one is operation expenses, so OPEX account. This is your monthly outgoings, so things like your utility bills, your internet bills, everything you pay out on a monthly basis that helps run the business, helps run our gym. That all goes into that account, and I've got a total monthly expenditure for my OPEX account, so I know exactly how much is going out of that account every month. The next one is wages account. Now that's pretty self-explanatory. all my staff that I pay, their money that goes in for their wages goes into that account. Okay, now you can have another account set up for income, so you can have all of your income go into one account and then you split it off into these accounts. I tend to have all mine go into the OPEX account and then spread it, and then whatever's left stays in the OPEX account. But in the Profit First book, they do suggest having another bank account for income, which all of the incoming funds go into that bank account. From there, you distribute accordingly based on your first list of exactly what your expenses are. So our wages account, we have a number total that I send every month, goes into that account, so all my staff are paid and there's no issues. Then we have a taxes account. This is a big one because this is the one that can catch you out, because you'll probably pay taxes once a year or twice a year. If you pay VAT, you will have quarterly tax accounts as well. What you don't want to do is be scurrying around trying to find extra money when the tax bill comes in. So if you've got a tax account, you will roughly know exactly how much tax you're paying, and you can split it into a monthly payment and send it to that account. That way, when the time comes to pay HMRC, it's already sitting in the account, you just transfer it straight over. Then you have a profit account. Now this one is what the Profit First book really goes into detail. It talks about paying yourself first, so you don't feel like a slave to your business, okay? So it doesn't even matter if it's £50. Put something into that profit account that you pay yourself first. Before you distribute to any other of your accounts, pay something into that profit account. That account does not get touched for a year, and then at a certain time in the year, you can take the money out of that and spend it on yourself, pay yourself a bonus. The key is, do not spend it on the business. That is just solely for you to do what you want with, and it just is a reward for you, obviously creating your business and working hard in your business. If you use that account to spend on your business, it's not the purpose of it. You're just recycling that money straight back into the business. We need to be doing this for a reason and a reward, and this account helps you create that reward for yourself. And like I say, it could be £50 a month. At the end of the year, that tallies up. You've got a little bit of a bonus there to go spend on whatever you want, okay? Now, the big thing about this way of banking, which really helped me, is if you think about when you look at your bank account, if it's just one number, if you've got a big number there that comes in every month and you're like, right, so that's got to go there, that's got to go there. It looks a big number, and you'll start doing jobs that you think, oh, I can get this done this month. And then all of a sudden, a surprise bill comes in that you haven't anticipated, and then you haven't got the money there because you've basically used it from one of these accounts, if it's all in one big plate, yeah? So what this does, it just separates it all out, so then you know that whatever's in your tax account, you can't touch. That is for the government, it's not for you, it's not for your business. So you do not transfer it over, because if you do, you know that your business is not functioning correctly and you're having to borrow from areas that you shouldn't be borrowing from, okay? So by splitting out the funds makes it much more easy to manage, and it will stop those times where you've spent too much on, let's say, repairs or improvements, then all of a sudden your VAT bill comes in and you realise that you've spent some of your VAT bill money on those repairs. This takes away that problem, because everything in your tax account gets, for your end of year corporation tax, your personal tax, your VAT, your OPEX account, or you can create another account for, let's say, repairs and things like that, like a little savings account for your business. It comes from there, so you know exactly what you've got to play with every month, and you won't get caught out and be scurrying around trying to find money from somewhere, or worse, having to borrow from one of the other accounts to pay that bill. It's a good indicator of where your business is not or needs improving or failing, if at the end of the month, after you've paid yourself a little bit of profit and you've divided everything up, you can see what you're falling short. Hopefully you're not falling short on any of them, and you've got some left over for you to improve your business or make any repairs. But if you are, it will show you where you need to make cutbacks. Then you can make yourself more efficient in one of the areas to make sure that we're in the green rather than in the red of any of those areas. The book really delves into how to do this process, and I recommend you read it and read the whole book. Like I say, you don't have to necessarily follow every step. I've taken what works for me out of it, and I apply the banking principles, but literally you can delve right into it and create savings accounts and all sorts where it feeds the money in and makes it as most efficient as possible, so you're getting the most out of your money and out of your business. Apply the principles that work for you, and hopefully this will help you streamline your banking, and more importantly, be more in control of the numbers, so you're not caught out with any nasty surprises down the line. As always, if you've got any questions about what I've discussed in this video, leave them in the comment section below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. I'll see you on the next one.